What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here for a wrestling topic video. I have a couple of them that I do need to catch up on. One of them has had news that's floated around for the past couple of weeks now. And of course, tonight is when I'm getting to trying to get caught up on that news. I emphasize that up. What am I going to say? Or whatnot. So, here's one of the few wrestling topics that I wanted to try to cover to get caught up on. So, one name that their status in wrestling, the wrestling industry, has been very unknown for most of this year is Sasha Banks. From what we remember, of course, earlier this year, shortly after winning the tag titles with Naomi at WrestleMania 38, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out on WWE during an episode of Raw where they were originally supposed to be in a six-pack challenge for the number one contendership for the Raw Women's Championship. And rumors have it, originally, Naomi was supposed to win that match and fight Bianca Belair in Hell in a Cell. And Sasha Banks was supposed to become the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship and wrestle Ronda at Hell in a Cell. But of course, they did not like that. They, of course, thought, well, you know, why are we even being women's tag champs when these belts mean absolutely nothing? Still mean absolutely nothing to this day, in my opinion. And why are you having just them being fed to your champions as like filler contenders? This, of course, was when Vince McMahon was still around. So they walked out. And for Sasha, I mean, Naomi, I'm still surprised Naomi's not back yet. Because I thought she would at least be back by now because of the fact that, you know, she's Jimmy Uso's wife. I still think Naomi needs to turn heel and be a female member of the Bloodline. The Bloodline, again, could use a female member just to make the stable a little more interesting already than it already is. So, I'm surprised she's not back yet. She could be back, though, soon. We'll have to wait and see. Then there's Sasha. So, there's been times off and on I've hoped that Sasha Banks would come back to WWE. You know, it's kind of more so, okay, she's been there for so long, you know, it's the best route for me, you know, see her on television, unless she did go to AEW, which we'll get to that in a second. But also, Sasha, the past couple years especially, has really caught mainstream. You know, she, you know, won an SB with Bianca Belair in their main event match of night one of WrestleMania 37, which was a classic. One of the best women's title matches for sure to take place at WrestleMania. Needless I say, one of my best women's matches of all time, I would say as well. She's a multiple-time world champion. She's wrestled Bayley, which, okay, that feud got halted way too soon on the main roster, but she's wrestled Bayley. She's had great matches with Becky. She's had great matches with Charlotte. She even had a great match with Ronda at Rumble 2019. She's had great matches with Asuka. She has basically wrestled everyone there is. Okay, has she wrestled Rhea? I can't recall if she's wrestled Rhea. That's one that I'm not 100% sure of if she's wrestled. But you look back on it, and okay, yes, Triple H did take over. And yes, Triple H would treat Sasha as one of his go-to women. But at this point in her career, what else does Sasha Banks really have left to do in WWE? I mean, yes, she's never won a Rumble. Yes, she's never won the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think as a single star, she has not won the Chamber. She did win the inaugural women's tag titles with Bayley a couple years ago. She got that. But again, even if she would win the Rumble, even if she would win Money in the Bank, what would it really lead to at this point? With the roster we have today, because let's be honest, the women's roster still needs help. Again, Raw, I feel like has, a lot of depth. Raw has Bianca. Raw has Becky. Raw has Asuka. That, yes, is fine-tuning the character, but I feel like, I could take her seriously if she's contending for the title. Alexa Bliss. Yes, her character is flat as hell, which, okay, also, I forgot to talk about that in my Raw review, but it's no here and there now, but even she, has something interesting. Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, like all these women, I can look at and say, okay, I would take them seriously as a contender for the title. On SmackDown, who is there? Like, the latest is Raquel Rodriguez, who's going to be getting a title shot. I believe she won the 6-pack challenge on the pre-taped episode of SmackDown tonight. Honestly, as I said recently too, I probably would have had her get a title shot first before Shotzi Blackheart did. Because nobody else is really, making me on SmackDown maybe make me want to see anything. And again, like the big names, the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Baileys, the Rondas. Again, maybe except for Rhea Ripley. Oh, Mia Yim too, fine, okay, cool. But there really is not any big mega moments to set up for Sasha Banks. Which also, other news has reported that apparently when they did try to sit down and talk, they couldn't come to a good deal with the money. And also, the WWE feels that Sasha Banks has reached her peak. And they didn't see her as like a big contributing factor for the next 5 years. Which I would say that is BS, because again, Sasha Banks easily is one of the best female wrestlers today. I think so. She's popular. She's a great wrestler. She's already making a name for herself in Hollywood. She's a must-see name, for sure. Does she really need WWE right now? Again, yes, she could win the Rumble, but who's she going to fight at Mania? Somebody she's already wrestled how many times? And the other thing, too, is she's already main evented WrestleMania. With, night one, of course, but it was still the main event match, and it was a classic. She's won titles. I mean, yes, one big goal of hers and Bayley's was definitely to make those women's tag titles mean something. There just is not the roster, not the depth. It just isn't working. I still think also, maybe if you would limit them to just one set of women's tag championships that can float between main roster and NXT, okay, maybe we have a little bit more of a division. Because I didn't like how, when I was watching NXT, how they had the match in NXT with Shayna and Nia, remember her? Versus Dakota Kai and Raquel I thought she was Raquel Gonzalez. Now she's Raquel Rodriguez. I didn't like that finish. It was weird. And they said, oh, we feel bad, so we'll give you NXT Women's Tag Titles. No. I feel like there should be just one set of women's tag titles that should float back up between WWE main roster and NXT, as they should. So, obviously, trying to, make a statement that way is, something else that Sasha Banks was not able to get accomplished in WWE. And it's not her fault. It's just, the booking has just not been great for the women's tag titles. They've just become kind of pointless and whatnot. So, yes, it is true. What does Sasha Banks really have left to do right now? So the fact that she chose not to go back to WWE, and apparently her contract has... Apparently they agreed to part ways back in the summer. But I guess the agreement was she was not allowed to do any wrestling events until the new year, I think it was. Which does lead me to, what's next. She has been heavily rumored. First off, what did also make me finally believe that Sasha was not coming back was the fact, again, that she did trademark a lot of things. A lot of names, a lot of Mercedes names and whatnot. Mercedes Mono, or she trademarked. That's what, okay, I don't think she's coming back now. And she definitely isn't. But there are rumors. There are heavy rumors that she's going to show up at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Some people say to maybe fight for the IWGP World title against Kairi Hojo, Kairi Sane, which would be an excellent match. I'm sure they did cross paths, of course, you know, especially whenever when they were her and Bayley were the golden role models feud with the Kabuki Warriors. The storyline that wrote off Kairi Sane off of WWE television before she went back to Japan. I'm sure we can get much better matches because, again, Vince McMahon did not like Kairi Sane. He had no faith in her. He made her look weak as hell and whatnot. She just wasn't really a fitting heel. She was not a fitting heel, but my goodness. If we get the Kairi that we got from the Mae Young Women's Classic or even her time in NXT, that and Mercedes Varnado, how to pronounce her name, or whatever name she goes by, that will be awesome. Her wrestling in New Japan will be awesome. So again, that is definitely big news. I don't really watch New Japan, but maybe if I find a way to watch it, you know, I'm sure I will. I'm also going to make a bold prediction here. I'm starting to think, since of course they're really hyping up this tag match between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Saraya and a partner of her choosing on a future episode of Dynamite, which is the January 11th edition in Los Angeles. I'm really leaning towards the fact that we could see Mercedes, which again, that's her real name, Mercedes Varnado, wherever she wrestles by. Mercedes, I think, will be the mystery partner. And she, of course, which I don't know if that means she'll have a contract with AEW, but of course can go wrestle in New Japan because they do have a partnership, or what her contract is going to be. Of course, I'm pretty sure if Tony Khan does want to grab Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, which I gotta figure out how I'm going to title this video, of course, too. But of course, if you're watching this now, then you're going to see, of course, how it's titled. I'm pretty sure he's going to give her all the flexibility in the world. Again, she's going out to prove that, again, she doesn't need to be in WWE right now. Someday, yes. I think someday she will go back to WWE. She does feel like she belongs there, but she needs different work. She needs a different coat of paint. She needs new opponents. You know, Sasha Banks and Jamie Hayter. Sasha Banks and Britt Baker. Sasha Banks and Thunder Rosa. Sasha Banks and Riho. Sasha Banks and Athena. Ooh. That'd be good. Sasha Banks and... Hell, go to Impact and wrestle Deonna Purrazzo. Or, I know she's on a retirement tour. What if she appeared in Impact and wrestled Mickie James? I think that's a match that we need the right booking for to see, which that'd be awesome. Her and Deonna, or her and Mickie, take my money. Her and Taya Valkyrie also could maybe do something. Her and Toni Storm. There is a lot of fresh possibilities to build up her name. And in like 4 or 5 years, she probably would be willing to go back to WWE. Hopefully by then that women's roster gets revamped, gets names in there that people actually think must see, and dream matches you once have see Sasha Banks have. But I still think, again, getting back to that, kind of went off topic there, I still think she's going to be that mystery partner for Saraya. Wouldn't it be very, very fitting and very, you know, like, coming full circle to see her be the tag partner in her AEW debut with the woman she accidentally injured and took out for 6 years. That, of course, was weighing heavy on her conscience for a long, long time. Because Saraya did text Mercedes whenever she got cleared to kind of, you know, make her feel better and whatnot. Wouldn't it be something to see those two tag together and have that be her, you know, big return match? I think, again, it would be pretty darn awesome. I really do. So, I am intrigued in seeing what Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, does do as, again, she has officially left WWE. It's pretty much official now. She's still on the WWE app roster on SmackDown, but again, she's done. She is done. I think if she would have come back War Games was the last time you expect her to be back. I don't expect her to be back at the Rumble. Again, even if she was at Rumble, who's she going to fight? I mean, yes, we never got the rematch with Bianca and Sasha, but we don't need that again. We don't need to see Ronda and Sasha again. The match we have to do at Mania again is Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. So again, there's no one for her to fight. There's absolutely nobody for her to fight right now in WWE. And that's okay. There's no real fresh competition. So, if that's the case, if you have the chance to go somewhere else and do other things, go for it. Bet on yourself. Make yourself an even bigger name. Now, I will say this also. A lot of people are now labeling Sasha Banks as like the female CM Punk. Which, I understand why. And as I've said many times, the reason why I understand, I mean, even though, again, I still say it's just a yes, I hate talking about it, but CM Punk, went off at the wrong time at the media scrum. He did do that. He went off at the wrong time. I get his frustrations. I know a lot of people can't stand his ego. But again, as I've said, I think earlier this year, we need wrestlers. And of course, now, with Vince McMahon gone and people feel like most people feel like they have a little more freedom and whatnot. We need people in the business who are not just there for a paycheck. Who are there because they are literally determined to be the best. Which is why I always understood why CM Punk had a big ego. He fully believes himself and wants to be the best. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, fully believes in herself and she wants to be the best. So how are you going to be the best if you're going to wrestle the same people over and over and over and over again, and it's not going to be anything noteworthy? She wants to be noteworthy. So why not go out again, wrestle in New Japan? Why not go out and wrestle in AEW or Impact or even on the indies in general? She will definitely, easily become one of the biggest stars in the business. Not that she already is, but take her to a whole other level. As I believe so. So yes, I am excited to see what Mercedes Varnado does next. Again, I, may try to see what she does in New Japan. I definitely do think still she should be the mystery partner for Saraya. Because again, who else could there be? What, her and Toni Storm? That's no surprise. Again, you gotta blow our minds. Have it be Mercedes. Come full circle again. And again, we're in LA. Star of The Mandalorian. And other few movie projects she's been in. So again, yes, I can understand why WWE thinks that she's reached her peak. There's nobody else for her to work with. Again, yes, there's some things she has not done. Again, won the Rumble. She has not won Miss Money in the Bank. I get it. There's a few things she has not done. But again, how is she going to make that stuff even mean worthwhile if there's nobody for her to wrestle? So, she's going to have those moments, just not in WWE. But I do think someday she will be back. I really, really believe someday she will be back. She just got to, do what Cody Rhodes did. Left for a few years, went on, became a bigger star, brought back. Yes, the man is crazy. I mean, he's talented, but he's crazy. You could tell that his ego is really, really high. And he's crazy. Especially when you wrestle a Hell in a Cell match with a fully torn pec. So yeah, I am intrigued. I look forward to see what Mercedes Varnado does outside of WWE. And guys, that is my thoughts on the news that Mercedes Varnado is rumored to be heading to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And will she show up on the January 11th edition of Dynamite and be Saraya's tag partner, as is a partner of her choosing? Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93. And make sure to shout for me, boss up, and follow me on TikTok at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.
no escape.